Hey everyone, Amanda Roop here. Today I want to do a guided meditation with you on forgiveness. First, let me tell you a little story. So there were two monks walking down the road, and they approached this really muddy, really dirty stream. And standing there was a very well-dressed woman. She had her heels on and she had her dress on. And she declares, "One of you must carry me across this stream. I don't want to get dirty. I don't want to mess my clothes up. You just simply must." So the older monk, without hesitation, grabs the woman, kind of puts her over his shoulder, and carries her across the stream. She says nothing. She doesn't say thank you. She doesn't smile. She simply says nothing. So the monks continue about their day, and they're walking. And the younger monk says, I'm really upset with you. We're not supposed to touch women. She was rude. You got yourself all dirty going across the stream. Like, why would you do that, right? And the older monk says, I carried that woman hours and hours ago, but you've been carrying her around this whole time. So that story is just a little story to kind of give us an idea about how forgiveness helps us to let go of situations and how we can harbor that anger and that resentment and that bitterness for years and years long after the situation has passed and long after that person or even ourselves has done something to cause that anger and resentment. So a forgiveness meditation is a really useful thing, but I will say that it's a very challenging thing. We are challenged to remember these situations where either we have caused harm or someone else has caused harm, and it can be very painful to bring up those situations, because a lot of times what we want to do is we want to just repress and repress. We want to forget about it and act like it never happened. And we can do that. However, our hearts and our minds tell a different story. They know that the situation happened. We know deep down that the situation occurred, no matter how much we repress it. So the forgiveness meditation is very useful for becoming unstuck. It's an intentional decision to let go of that anger, to let go of that resentment. But I will tell you what forgiveness is not. Forgiveness is not justification for someone treating you wrong or for you doing wrong to others. It is not condoning bad behavior. However, if we don't forgive, we carry the influence of that situation in our hearts and minds forever. And we all know what that does. That just stews and it just eats away at us little by little, day by day. So we're going to do this guided meditation. I want to preface it by saying if it feels traumatic, if it feels painful at any time, you can just go back to focusing on your breathing anytime that you are doing a meditation. And during that meditation, painful memories or triggers are brought up. It's perfectly okay to drop that as your focus and return to your breathing as your focus. Not just for this meditation, but for any meditation. So what we're going to do is we're going to find yourself in a comfortable posture. I like to roll my shoulders just a bit. We carry so much tension in our shoulders. If you're cognizant of it and you're mindful of it, sometimes we're like this all day. And so I find myself saying, Amanda, drop your shoulders. And then just immediately that tension releases. So sit up straight, drop your shoulders. Take a good breath. You can put your hands on your lap. You can do your hands like this. It really doesn't matter. Just make them comfortable. Soften this area in your forehead. Soften your jaw. Soften your mouth. Drop your tongue. Sometimes because we're tense, we hold our tongues at the roof of our mouths and we don't even know it. So drop your tongue, soften your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. I'm not going to count these breaths. It's just whatever feels really natural and really comfortable for you. Just a calm, steady breath. Let's just do a few together. In with energy. Out with relaxation. In through the nose, pulling in energy. Out through the mouth, providing calmness and relaxation to the body. Scan your body. What feels tense? Have you dropped your shoulders? Have you unclenched your mouth, your hands? Feel your feet on the floor. What does that feel like? Relax your legs, your hips. You can even rock your hips back and forth a few times on the chair, just so they'll soften and place themselves naturally. Keep the breathing in and out. Okay, what I want you to do in your mind's eye is I want you to think of a time that you did someone wrong. Think of a time that you judge yourself for, a situation that you are still judging yourself for. It could be something you did to yourself, others, family, something that always comes back to your mind and makes you feel regret, irritability, frustration. Why did I do that? Keep breathing as you remember this situation. Visualize it in your mind's eye. Remember, if this is a painful memory, always you can go back to your breath, repeating in and out. Now, remembering that situation, you have put yourself in front of yourself here in your mind's eye, and I want you to speak to yourself. And I want you to repeat these phrases. I want you to say, I forgive myself for not understanding. I forgive myself for making mistakes. I forgive myself for causing pain and suffering to others. And breathe in and out. Really direct those words towards yourself and mean them. Everyone deserves forgiveness. You are worthy of forgiveness. It's time. It's time. It's time to let that go. Let that judgment go. It's a new day. We can't live in the past. Unforgiveness is living in the past. It's time to let it go. One more time, look at yourself, remembering that situation, and repeat, I forgive myself for not understanding. I forgive myself for making mistakes. I forgive myself for causing pain and suffering to others. Deep breath in and out. Now, I want you to think of a time that someone mistreated you. I want you to think of a time that you felt mistreated or you felt wronged. Now, this could be very painful, so you don't have to remember your most painful memory. You can save that for when you become used to this guided meditation. You can just think of something that really affected you negatively. If you want to think of the worst situation, it's fine, but you don't have to. Keep breathing in and out, slowly and calmly. When you get that situation in your mind, the one that you want, the one that you're ready to let go of, when you see that person that mistreated you, or maybe it was a group of people that mistreated you, I want you to say to them, I forgive you for not understanding. I forgive you for making mistakes. I forgive you for causing pain and suffering to me. Say those words to that person or those group of people and mean them. Let it go. It's time to let it go. Unforgiveness affects us more than it does anyone else. Recovery is about forgiveness. Use your traits. Use your traits of empathy. Use your traits of compassion, of authenticity, and forgive. Forgive today. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's do that one more time. See that person in your mind's eye, or that group of people, whichever one, doesn't matter, that mistreated you, caused you pain, caused you suffering. Say to them, I forgive you for not understanding. I forgive you for making mistakes. I forgive you for causing pain and suffering to me. Notice how good that feels. How are you feeling in your body? Are your shoulders loose? Is your face softened? Is your heart open? Extending that forgiveness for yourself primarily, so you can recover, so you can move on. Let's just do a little bit more breathing just to close the meditation out. I want you to breathe in the energy. Breathe out the relaxation. Notice how the breath feels going in the nose. Breathe in. And how it feels coming out the mouth. Bringing our bodies back into balance, bringing our bodies back into center. We are grateful, we are thankful. We are grateful to be able to forgive ourselves and forgive others and move on with life. It's time to move on. It's a world full of possibilities. And things are really, really hard to achieve with unforgiveness in our hearts, so we need to let it go. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and just continue the breathing as long as you need to. This is a meditation practice that you can return to anytime during the day when you need it, when you feel those situations arise that are making you angry or that are triggering a painful memory of the times that you made a mistake, or the times that other people made mistakes that affected you. You can always say in your head, you don't have to do a full-blown meditation. You can always say, I forgive myself for not understanding. Lots of times situations occur that wrong us, or that we wrong other people, simply because at that moment in time we just did not understand. So we can forgive ourselves, and we can forgive others for not understanding. I forgive myself for making mistakes. We're human. It's okay to be human. Humans make mistakes. And I forgive myself and I forgive others for the suffering and the pain that have been caused. We can do this any time of the day when we fill our brains, when we fill our minds and hearts filling up with anger about past situations. So I hope you've enjoyed this meditation. I hope that it's been useful to you. I know it can be painful. Sometimes painful things are necessary to recover and to live our best lives. I so thank you for listening to me. I'm so honored and I'm so humbled to be here with you today. So remember, forgive yourself, forgive others, and let's live life to the absolute fullest that we can. Thank you so much. Have an excellent day.